I switched from an LG OLED TV to a Samsung QD-OLED TV during Black Friday. And if you picked up a Samsung S90D, you need to change these settings immediately. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into the settings of the TV and my evaluation, I know what you guys are going to run to the comments and say, well, Samsung doesn't have Dolby Vision, and yes, that is definitely true. And I have weaned off or not gotten a Samsung TV for that reason. But what if I told you with a certain device, there's a way we could get Dolby Vision onto this Samsung TV and possibly many others? Now, is that a video you'd like to see? Let me know in the comments below. First things first, my biggest problem with Samsung TVs is the Tizen operating system. I've been saying this for years, so if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that it's pretty bad. I hate it, I do not like it, and I do not want to see it, I do not want to interact with it, or I want to do as little as possible interaction with it. So this first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make it so that when you turn on the TV, it doesn't go to the home screen of the Tizen operating system. In fact, it'll go to the last source that was used. In my case, that's going to be HDMI 3 because my pre-pro or AVR is connected to HDMI 3. So let's jump into it. First, we need to press the settings button on the remote, then go into all settings, go down to general and privacy, select start screen option, and now start with Smart Hub Home, toggle this off. And now when I turn on the TV, it'll just keep it at HDMI 3 and won't even get into the Tizen operating system home screen. Filmmaker mode is going to be your most accurate out-of-the-box picture on the Samsung S90D. So while an HDR movie is playing, I'm going to press the settings button on the remote and then move over to Filmmaker mode down here on the bottom bar. Now, one of the other things I hate is the motion interpolation or soap opera effect. If you're like me, we need to jump in here while Filmmaker mode is selected and turn that off. So we're gonna get to the all settings menu here, go down to picture, select expert settings, then go down to picture clarity settings and make sure to turn everything off. If you just copy what I've got here, you should be good to go. One other tip I got from my boy Classy Tech Calibrations. Big shout out to you, Classy. Thank you so much for all the insight on this TV and steering me in the direction of purchasing this TV. So thanks, buddy. He told me to turn off all the eco power settings. So let's jump into there. So from the all settings menu, we go down to general and privacy, then go into power and energy saving, and we need to turn everything off. Again, if you want to make it look like what I have on screen, that's probably going to do it for you. Now, since I game, I want to make sure 4K, 120 Hz, HDR, VRR, ALLM, all that kind of cool stuff is happening. So let's jump into the menu again to turn that on. Again, we're going to hit settings on the remote and then all settings to get to this menu. Scroll down to connection, then select external device manager, and now select Input Signal Plus. What we want to do is toggle the HDMI input that you want to have the 4K 120Hz HDR. For me, that's HDMI 3, as this is the one going to my AVR. All four HDMI inputs support 4K 120Hz. Now, one thing I noticed when I was playing HDR games like Call of Duty is it was super bright, like eye-searingly bright, and I didn't like that. So there is a setting that we do need to change, but we have to have a 4K HDR game running so that game mode is activated. So I've got Call of Duty on right now and it's in HDR and game mode is activated. We need to get into the all settings menu again, scroll down to connection, then select game mode settings and then game picture expert. And in this menu, we want to change game HDR to basic. As soon as I did that, you can see that it totally changed. Having this set to basic is so much better, so I highly recommend it. All right, now let's set up eARC. Now, if you are unsure of what eARC actually is, it's called the Enhanced Audio Return Channel, meaning you can play lossless content. Like if you have an Xbox Series X or a 4K Blu-ray player connected directly to the TV via HDMI, you can send that signal to the TV, and then the eARC coming out of HDMI 3 from the TV to your AV receiver will send a lossless signal such as Dolby Atmos. And if you have Dolby Atmos, you should definitely pick up the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit to help you dial in your Dolby Atmos home theater. There's a 15% off code right now. It's Holiday 24, so make sure you pick this up and dial in your home theater with your brand new QD-OLED TV. All right, so we need to get into the all settings menu again, go down to sound, select expert settings. Now we want to set HDMI eARC mode to auto, then go down to digital output audio format, and we need to set this to pass through. Okay, now let's talk about my overall opinion of the TV, including picture quality. Now there is a lot of things to like about the TV. Obviously, it doesn't have Dolby Vision, but like I said, there might be a way to add that into this TV. So again, if you want to know about that and if you want me to make a video about it, let me know down in the comments. As far as the picture quality, it's an OLED and I love OLEDs. If you know my channel and you know me, I've been owning OLEDs since 2016 when I started the channel, and I've owned quite a few. Now, mostly I go with LG. I've reviewed plenty of Samsungs and Sonys. And for this size and price point, I think this was the best option for me, especially with what I'm doing now. I'm not really reviewing a whole lot of TVs these days, so I use the S90D when I am mixing Atmos. It's a nice big screen for me to look at, considering my computer has to be all docked up and connected to all the devices. Having a huge screen like this is amazing. And I've got it in the perfect spot, sitting just a few inches above the center channel. So big shout out to Stop the FOMO for the TV stand recommendation. It'll hold an 85-inch TV and up to 80 pounds. And with this OLED, man, it sits perfectly in the room. So yeah, you guys should check it out if you need a super tall TV stand that's very sturdy. I did add some 15-pound sandbags on the back legs just for extra stability, just in case, right? Watching movies on the S90D is amazing. My favorite part about the OLED TV is that when I turn off all the lights, the black bars on top and bottom of a movie disappear into the darkness, and you just see that film strip. You just see the raw movie, and it looks awesome. Colors are vibrant and have a lot of pop, and I just love how all this color is just represented, and there's plenty of brightness. I'm loving it. White is super bright and blacks are deep. I love watching this scene in Lucy here where it's a total contrast, and you can see the different textures on this guy's jacket. Like, this TV does a fantastic job with the scene, whereas some other TVs wouldn't do so well. And of course, when it comes to gaming, this TV is a beast. I've had no issues with input lag. It's pretty low, and I am having a blast when I have time to play a video game. I did spend a few hours with the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6 playing that, and I had a lot of fun. I think with any kind of game, whether it's a first-person shooter or an adventure game, you're going to enjoy the game graphic-wise, 4K, 120 hertz, HDR, VRR, all that. You're gonna love it. It does have a game bar. I don't really use the options in the game bar a whole lot, but it is there, and if you like to use those kinds of things, you're good to go. So for the S90D, I picked up this 77-inch during Black Friday, and for $2,200, I think that's a pretty good deal. It's currently priced at $24.99 everywhere you look, so it is up $300. Still a pretty good deal, not as good as Black Friday, but if you are interested in this TV, definitely check out the links and the tag products in this video. Now remember, if you are looking at any Samsung QD-OLED TV, make sure you're getting the right one. For instance, the S90D, the 55-inch, 65-inch, and 77-inch are the only ones in this range that are QD OLEDs. The smaller and the larger sizes are the standard WOLED TV like you would get from LG. So make sure, if you are serious about getting a QD OLED TV, make sure the S90D, it's either the 55, 65, or 77. Otherwise, you're not getting QD OLED, and that's really what we want when we pick up a TV like this. Now with this purchase, my new studio space is pretty much dialed in. There's gonna be a few more things, but man, from the place I was at a year ago, this has been an amazing adventure, and I'm super glad you guys are here along for the ride. If you have any questions about this TV or need me to check out anything specifically, let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.